Teachers of Reddit, what was your "how are my students this dumb" moment? One of my 16-year-old students asked, while starting a multiple choice test, if it mattered what letter he chose. I just stared at him. Sometimes there are no words. I'm baffled. I need a follow-up. Did he figure it out? One of my other students said, yes, dumbass, there's only one right answer. He then facepalmed and said I'm a moron. I didn't respond to either comment, lol. He caught a case of the stupid that day. Not a teacher, but was helping my friend who's a TA go over some first-year essays. It was an essay about video games, and aside from the format being non-existent, one of the first sentences was something along the lines of there are many examples of video games, such as the Wii and PS4 and Zelda. Unfortunately, she wasn't allowed to grade any papers below 50%. He got a 50%. Why would someone not be allowed to grade a paper below 50% given the example you just gave? The practical difference between a 50% and a 0% is basically non-existent. You don't pass below a 60 anyway. But making it easier to pass can make the administration look more competent on paper. I have a poster on my wall that says something about not believing everything you read on the internet, and it attributes the quote to Abraham Lincoln. Student said, wait, did they have internet back then? I once told my students that there was a time before the internet and they all laughed like we know Dr. Aero_girl. We're not dumb. Followed by wait, so how did you get data on your phone? Facepalm. I mean, phones predate the internet and they had to use something to communicate. I hope they meant that and not that they had cell phones in the 50s. No, they definitely meant cell phones. Some grasped right away what they asked, but their kid in the front was earnestly asking. So I had to tell them if the dark ages, pre-smartphones, pre-internet, pre-cell phones. I think they were mostly shocked at how recent all this was. Like to a kid born in 1999, it's like the world without television for us 30-somethings. You know there was a time, but it's old people telling you that. It's different to see someone who isn't that much older than you talk about what is a bygone era to them. I teach swimming lessons and lifeguarding courses. During one, I was trying to teach them CPR, and instead of showing them first, I told them to show me what they already knew about it. I then proceeded to observe 15, 16 to 20-year-olds do the weirdest shit to those poor raining dolls. My favorite though was the kid who did a 2-foot jump onto the chest of the dummy. The dummy slid out from under his feet like a cartoon banana and he landed on his rear end on the pool deck. Good times. Asking a bunch of 16 to 20-year-olds to show you what they already know using a life-sized doll sounds risky. We learned CPR in grade school and I still remember a good portion of it to this day. 3 weeks into writing a research paper. Okay, today we'll continue writing the body paragraphs of the essay. Student, what essay? That sounds like what my class would do to try and get out of an assignment, as well as complain in an attempt to get the deadline pushed back. This was High School College English 1301. She cracked down on that in 1302 by making them show the paper at certain stage or beyond every week or so. Taught a third-year engineering class, petrochemical engineering. Started them early on their term project, a research report. Made them find 5 references for their chosen topic, and was very clear, Wikipedia is not a credible reference, don't use it. I told them it could be used as a starting point, but they should follow the reference links and make sure their info is coming from credible sources. I checked in with them multiple times over the term and kept telling them not to cite Wikipedia. Like 5 people out of 20 still cited Wikipedia in their final submitted reports. College instructor, you would be shocked. Just last year, multiple students can't save Word docs as PDFs, Students take smartphone pictures of every single slide while I lecture, even though I upload them to ILMS. Personal favorite: when asked to insert a picture into a Word document, one student prints the Word doc, prints the picture, puts the picture on the Word doc, takes a smartphone picture and uploads the file. Miss my millennial students. Fellow instructor here. It's not just you, I have students do the first two things every single semester. The third guy is a uniquely creative brand of stupid though. Not a teacher, but one freshman in my class took a rip of his vape and got caught by the substitute teacher. He tried to deny it by saying he could make vapor out of his mouth with nothing else. That actually is possible, search it up. It is. Can confirm, saw a friend do it multiple times to show off. George Clooney was the first president, right? 10th grader. Coach, I was a ball coach as well for a high school. Our bio teacher was talking about menstrual cycles. What is that? 9th grade female. Coach, I walked into the weirdest women's restroom. There were toilets with no stalls. I couldn't figure out how to pee in them. You walked into the men's bathroom. Those were urinals you saw. Oh. How to men pee in them. Same 9th grade female. What is Vladimir Lenin's first name? 8th grader, I replied Joseph. Does a male octopus have 8 testicles? 9th grade boy, in history class. Duh, an octopine is male, an octopus is female. They each have 8 of the appropriate thing.